record. How do I? What is up, my friends? Welcome back to episode 167, Sunday Sessions with Rich podcast. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I drop these things every single Sunday. You can catch me on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube, and wherever you listen to podcasts. But I'm pretty sure those are the main three. We got a special episode, pre-2024 episode. Marcus stops back for a chat. He is a mindset awareness facilitator. And we're going to make sure you guys are ready for the new year. We ain't getting no excuses. Marcus, welcome back, brother.
Appreciate you. We had to run it back, get you ready. We all got to get ready. We all got to get ready because, 2023 was a hell of a year, for lack of a better term. It was a hell of a year. A lot of us had ups and downs. But in my experience and the conversations that I've had, a lot of the down points were in compromising situations where they weren't normally. It's not to say that when you have obstacles, more often than not, you're not prepared, which is why it kind of cripples you in a way.
Yeah.
But like everybody is saying, like 2023 was really different. Have you had any experiences or talked to anybody that had like similar experiences where like they said this year was a wash, like they just ready for like next year?
I feel like everybody say that because you're not moving I feel like if you're not moving intentional with your year or like your months and shit, you go feel like that. Yeah. But when you moving with a purpose, like me and you, like we content creators, so we moving with a different energy. But if you're not goal oriented or you're not like action and shit, then this year going by. But I have had experiences where life was lifing, but when it's really setting you up. It's not hindering you, it's setting you up for the new journey you about to embark on. I had before I moved out here to be with my girl, I had literally lost my job and lost my crib in the same week. Normal person would be like, oh, far. I was like, okay, universe, God, source, whatever you want to call yourself, like, shit, what you setting up? Because I know something's gonna set up. And then all this abundance started flowing in right after. So if you can just look at situations as like, okay, something great is about to happen from this. Don't even look at it as a situation. Look at it as an opportunity to grow, opportunity for a next stage in your journey. Set.
Perfect. And because you hit the nail on the head, because I want to touch on the first part of what you said, the setup, right?
The setup, bro.
People aren't prepared for the setup.
You never will be.
Yeah, some people say success happened in the intersection between preparation and opportunity. But that's kind of true, because when you say move with intention, of course you're not gonna have, if you're set up for visualization purposes, or if you're set up to build let's say a house, of course you need material, right?
Right. Yeah.
Of course you need skills to do it.
Right.
In life, when you get that set up, as you put it, when you get that set up, you're not gonna have, well, you have all the materials right around you. That's just the nature of abundance. You have it, but a lot of times you're not prepared to act right away. That's just because of, we're not going to call it circumstance, but we have an infinite opportunities to learn and to grow.
Come on.
So but that's the beauty of being set up, because all you have to do is just ask what you said
and surrender.
What you setting up? God, universe, source, what you setting up? Exactly. Or in this moment, what do I have to learn in this moment? Because we know that we are right where we need to be. Facts. Right in this moment. Facts. There's no shoulda, coulda, woulda. There's no if I know now what I knew back then. There's no I wish I was farther in life. Yep. You are right where you need to be right in this moment.
And then adding to that too, because oh man, I hear that too. Like Oh, I wish I started like a couple years ago. You were supposed to, but also don't get caught in that complacency. Like, oh, like when people be like, I'll start my gym routine or my diet when the new year start. No, start fucking now. We
Right.
no, that's procrastination.
Right. Like a lot of people, I told my sister like months ago, she was saying, a lot of things that she wished she would have knew, a decade prior.
Right.
And I said no, because that just means that if you would have gotten to that information
Yeah.
a decade ago, you would have
Yeah.
squandered the information. Just
Facts. You
because of the situation you was in, you would have
and you
squandered
wasn't
it
ready. You
anyway.
wasn't ready to apply that.
Exactly.
Exactly, bro.
Exactly. Exactly. So we are right in the perfect moment right now. So
To
then
receive.
to receive.
To receive.
And so we have to understand that we have to capitalize on one moment at a time.
And keep that
In order
momentum
to do
going
that,
too.
and right, in order to do that, if we're in a compromising situation, or if we're being, like you put it, if we're being set up,
Yeah.
right, with what many would call
Yep.
circumstance being, you know, 6 payments late on whatever,
Yep.
or I just got laid off, or
Yep.
whatever the case may be.
Yep.
It's that, like you said, setup. But right now, point one,
hmm
what can I grow from this? What can I learn from this? Is it
Yep.
adversity? Is it thinking on my feet? Or is it, you know, being stewarding over
Yeah.
what I have, being a good
Yeah.
steward? Because a lot of people get into situations where, had they not squandered what they already have, recognizing abundance
hmm
from a standpoint of being a good steward,
hmm
right? Because just because you have it don't mean you spend it, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
you know just because you have it don't mean you spend the resource. It ain't got
Right.
to be money. It's
Right.
resources. We
Right.
spend resources to consume.
Yeah.
So, being a good steward over your resources, that is a huge point of direction that we should be going in next year.
hmm
Because we got, even thinking back to 2020, when everybody was getting the stimulus checks, the
Yeah.
economy was kind of being um, pushed in a good direction.
Yeah.
The stock market was doing good. Things was looking up. Of course, people were losing their jobs, but people
hmm
wasn't really worried about it because I had a little bit of bread.
Exactly.
But, but a lot of people squandered opportunities because a lot of people haven't had that much money in their possession before. So they said,
Yeah.
let me go buy this real quick. Let
Bro,
me
that's
go.
I know plenty of people who did that. I'm like, that's because then it's that's just about programming too. Like you said, if you grew up with like a poverty mindset, you still got a poverty
Oh,
mindset.
100%.
Realistically, like if you live in check to check, like I guess like the average person, you probably seeing probably like let's just say for example 11 to 100 a check, right? So let's say your stimulus, let's just say for sake of conversation, your shit was about let's say 4 5 bands, let's just say for conversation. When you see that money, you like, bet I'm gonna buy some shoes, I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna buy that. So think about, okay, what can I use this money as a resource, as a tool to help me progress? Like when I get my stimulus check, I bought my MacBook because I knew it was gonna be an investment that was gonna last me for years, and that was the
Right,
best money I spent. Best money I spent.
right, right. And so, yeah, so being a good steward over the resources that you have, thinking, I was having a conversation yesterday of chess. And I think we talked about it.
Yeah.
We talked about chess and the principles of chess being a huge life principle. When I learned how to play chess, I'm like, dang, do nobody see what I'm saying? Like, these are life lessons being
Bro,
put
talk
out in
talk to
this
him.
chess game, right?
Especially when you lose your queen. I get excited. I'm like, okay, now I gotta think even deeper because I'm getting you back. But now I gotta move different. I gotta adjust. I gotta adapt.
Okay, so let's stay right here.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
stay right here. So we
yeah.
know that queen is the most autonomous piece on a chessboard.
Yep, yep.
Like, you can, if you use it right, you can clean up with it, right? Just that one piece.
Eat.
But that's the thing about the general, like the majority of people.
Yeah.
They don't know how to use the best resources that are around them, right?
Yeah.
They don't, if they get, like, just for the sake of the conversation,
Yeah.
the stimulus money, right?
Right.
That was some people's queen.
Yep, it was. You're right.
That was some people's queen piece.
You're right.
But they went to the mall and blew it, or they went to the car dealership and blew it,
Yep.
or they have, for the, I'm talking to the men.
Yeah.
They met a female that they liked and blew it,
Splurged
right?
on it. Splurged on it.
Right. And
Don't be simping out here, guys. Don't be simping.
right. Like, that is a perfect example of playing chess with the queen caliber resource in your life, like identifying what that is and being a good steward over it.
And two, let me add to that. Like, when an opportunity arises, let's say you connect with somebody and it's an assist, it's a layup to, if you look at it that way, to progress in life or to learn or to elevate your circle and put you in a different thing. People squander that too. I had, looking back, because remember, I mean, early in the conversation where you was like, I wish I knew what I knew now. I had situations earlier in my 20s where I was self-sabotaging certain like opportunities for me to grow. But then looking back, just like our conversation, I'm like, but I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for that.
Right.
But that's just one of endless opportunities that's gonna come your way. And then when you're ready, you take on that shit, and then you keep going.
Right. And then the next thing is, you have to actually realize how abundant this, I'm not even talking about these four walls we in between right now.
That gratitude,
I'm
man.
I'm not even talking about if you step outside your house. I'm not talking about the people that you meet in your lifetime. I'm talking about in this universe. Because everything is connected.
Yep.
Since everything is connected, I mean, everything is connected. Since everything is connected, there was nothing you do not have at your disposal right now. And I'm gonna say that again.
Come on.
There is nothing that you do not have at your disposal right now. And what I mean by that is, I had a conversation with my wife last week, and I asked her a question. It got deep. I said, just because you don't have something, does it mean that it's not there?
You got to call it in.
And you have to recognize that it's there first.
Come on.
Recognize that it's there first. Because I used a simple analogy. I said, if you're in the kitchen, but you don't have any cooked food, does that mean food is not there?
Nope.
There's just resources to cook the food.
Exactly.
And prepare the food. So you have to utilize the resources to get the end result. A lot of times we don't have the finished product.
Yeah.
So we assume that it's not there. So we eliminate the whole thing altogether. Because we don't want to, we don't want to do the work. Most of us don't want to do the work.
Yeah.
And the rest of us don't identify that that was work required in the first place.
But you also got to realize this shit a marathon. I feel like most people, if we just take a basic, like, I want to start a podcast, I want to get into fitness, you see the people who, not even like the finished product, because nothing's a finished product, because it's like, it's always a journey, but you see somebody in a position that you wish you was at, but that motherfucker been doing that shit for years. So that comparison is a thief of
compare your
joy.
chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 20.
Bro, you can't. It's steps.
Right.
It's hours of this shit. Because it, like, little sidetrack, like, guys, if you listen, of course you listen. Duh. Think about a time where you needed money, like, there's a random situation, and a solution appeared. You ain't know how the hell it was. You surrendered. You said, I don't know how the fuck this is gonna happen, but that money magically appeared. It's just, you asked God, universe, source, whatever you want to call yourself, and it just answers, because the abundance is there on the other side. You just gotta match the frequency and allow it to come in.
Absolutely. Also, like you just said, you have to surrender. But first part, one of the most important steps of surrendering is just recognizing that it is available.
Yep, always.
Recognizing that it's available. A lot of people think that since they don't have it, it's not available.
Because you got to see it. They got to see it, but that's not how it works.
That's not how it works. We're hustling backwards.
Yep.
We're hustling backwards. And when you notice that there is resources that make up that thing that you want, then it starts to appear.
Mm-hmm.
Like $1 million worth of game Wallow. Everybody knows that he spent a significant amount of jail time.
Yeah.
But he recognized it. He recognized that there was first of all, there's nothing he couldn't do, as long as he put his mind to it.
Yeah.
But he knew that he didn't need $25,000 worth of equipment.
Mm-hmm. Come on, man. Man.
So what did he do? He started with a cell phone, and he put that mug. He taped that mug to the
Ain't no
gate.
excuses, bro. Ain't no
Right. He
excuses.
taped the cell phone to the gate, and he did his videos.
You gonna make a way if you want to do it.
If you want to do it, there is a way to be made.
Cause same way with when I started, because I was making my girl helped me because I was like, I ain't got microphone, blah blah blah. Like, nope, you use your phone, you use your what's that shit called? Use your phone, use your headphones, and you start. You start.
Facts. So what would you say to somebody right now that says, I don't have the time because I'm living paycheck to paycheck?
Excuses.
What would you say to this person? I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I don't have time. I can't because I don't have help with the kids. I don't have what would you say to that person?
You gotta, I guess it's kind of situation. Everything. So if you're using the kid situation, I don't have children, so that's kind of you would have to, like, if you have a partner, if you got to do, if it's like content creation, you can do that at the crib, right? Hey, do you mind watching little one? Just need 20 minutes. If it's the gym, hey, babe, really want to get into fitness. Can you work with me with watching little one for 30 minutes to an hour on this day? Can we like set up some routine? This is really important to me. But the biggest, the crux though is you have to start. I feel like the excuses, when you give excuses on starting the shit,
because that's the most overwhelming piece of the puzzle.
But once you do starting, because like when I first started my fitness journey, I was, oh, I don't have time. I don't want to go after work. I'm already tired. That's an excuse. I'm getting my mind is coming with excuses. No, we're gonna, after work, we go put this 1 hour in when we started off, and we go, you ain't gonna see the results right away, but you go feel good. And you carry in that momentum as a compound, and you feel good, and you're like, damn, I can do this. Because you have to train your mind to not make excuses, because the mind gonna make a shit ton of excuses why you can't do something.
Because it's gonna defend.
It's gonna defend because you're in your comfort zone.
It's gonna defend the routine. It's gonna defend the comfort.
But I want to go grab a drink afterward. But I want to hang out with. But no, that's how we self improving. Like when you setting up for next year, guys. Don't wait till January 1st. That's an excuse. What can I implement starting tomorrow, or even starting today? Like, what can I implement right now that's I can keep that momentum going?
Find that vision. What can you do in the next hour?
Facts.
That puts that step forward in the right direction. In the next hour, think of one thing. First of all, think of the things the goals that you have for 2024. And the every goal is tangible,
right?
But the thing that's the most tangible in the next hour, because the most important part is the feeling, like you just said. The feeling of accomplishment will kickstart the momentum. Just like you said, when you're going to the gym, the most important part is when you feel good. When you feel good, it compounds on itself. So
It's
the
just
feeling of
energy, it's just glow.
right, right. Every time I get in front of this camera and post some content that I know is helping somebody,
That's all.
I get it. It's nothing that
That's the
compares to
best
that. I don't
feeling,
even
bro.
right. I don't have any words for how I feel about that.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me want to do it again.
Because like, because this something I have to I put into perspective. Like, oh, I only got somebody can be like, oh, I only got like 5 views, but that's 5 people you just helped they get better that did not know any of the information that you just displayed. And you just helped 5 people, and then when you post again, that's 5 more people, and that
You
trickles into their
reassured.
reality.
Yeah.
That's important. People tweak on
100%.
that.
100%. And so that's another thing too. Like comparison. Comparison is the
Mm,
killer of all joy. Like this thing that you want to do,
mm-hmm.
just do
Just
it.
do it.
Just do it. And I did want to backtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
Talking about, because I do have kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got 3. So
So
and I know
tell us
people.
tell us from your perspective then, because like how do you find the time to do
I
things?
fit it in.
Okay.
I'm, oh, I got 10 minutes. Let me hurry up and edit this content. Or
Okay.
I use StreamYard. I know I told you
You
about
told me about
StreamYard before.
yeah.
So a lot of times I'll load up on content, or I'll do one long video,
Mm-hmm.
and I can pull up StreamYard from my phone and edit from my phone. I can edit a video from my phone.
Okay.
So while I'm chilling with the kids, or whatever, doing whatever, watching TV, I can edit this video right quick, download it
Mm-hmm.
to my phone, and then post it on Instagram, post it on Facebook, post it on YouTube, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So you fit it in, and I'm about to step on somebody's toes
Come
right
on.
now, and
We got challenge them.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, because I want to drive this point home.
Mm-hmm.
So I know this is going to be like, okay, now they doing it, like that's really no excuse for me. There's really no excuse. So
Mm-hmm.
there was an interview. I don't remember who the young lady name was, but there was an interview with her, and she has a OnlyFans account.
Mm-hmm.
So she posts content on OnlyFans, and she's a single mother,
Mm-hmm.
and she struggles with content creation.
Mm-hmm.
She said that's one of my biggest struggles, because I don't have anybody to help me with my son.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, what she does is, at night when he goes to bed,
That's the time you're
she
able to
posts
do it.
content. Or when her son, because her son was small. This was like a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Her son was small, like nap time,
Yeah.
you know, or whenever her son was like occupied,
Mm-hmm.
like completely immersed in what he was doing, she'll seek an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't limit it just to in the house. Like if she could spare some time in like the car or something
Yeah.
like that, posting content or recording whatever.
Whatever it was, yeah.
So
You go find a way.
yeah,
Yeah.
like you know,
But then that's the no excuse part. Like,
yeah, like it's like, because obviously OnlyFans has the connotation that it does. It has
yeah.
the stigma that it does, but that goes to show, like, if there's something that you really really want to do,
You gonna make a
there
way.
there's an abundance of opportunities
You
to
gotta
get it
look
done,
for it.
and it's not going to be a long time. It's not going to be
Right.
a long time. You might get 10 minutes here, you might get 5
Yeah.
minutes, you might even get 2 minutes. Take 2 minutes. That goes back that ties into being a steward over your
Mm-hmm.
time. That's one thing that I still have to grow with, is stewarding my time properly, because
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of different things going on, so I have to make sure I block out my time effectively, so that everything gets an equal piece of my dedication. And that's not to say it's evenly equal, but the time that it's supposed to be dedicated to it, it gets that.
When it's time to do it, execute. If you like, it was times that when I was working corporate in America, during work, I'm posting my content. I gotta make it before I get to work so that when I'm at work, ain't no excuses. I can post when I'm at work. You gotta find that the pockets and just do it.
Right. Like I have a coworker now who's a real estate agent. So, you know, he works on listings when he gets downtime at his 9 to 5. He
Use these
works on
motherfuckers.
documents, right? What, like in his downtime in his 9 to 5. And in the field that I work in, there's not a whole lot of downtime, but it's just about maximizing what you have.
Exactly.
It's maximizing what you have.
Even on your lunch break.
Even
spend
on your
20, 25 minutes. Knock out some shit.
That lunch hour, if you get an hour for lunch, I know.
Yeah, I know most people don't. That shit wild.
Yeah, man. Like, how is that legal?
Because I know some people only get like 30 minutes, even that. Because that's fucking wild.
Yeah, but it's even that. Like, if you have that, an hour can go a long way.
It can.
If you maximizing it properly. If you capitalizing on that time properly.
But yeah, bro, like he was saying, if you like the OnlyFans, I'm not knocking anybody's hustle.
Right.
Go, and it's just a different way to make money. As long as you feel, I don't really give a fuck. As long as
Get it
you
how you live.
Get it how you live. As long as you're harming nobody,
live.
your children ain't watching you, play with your cooter. I don't give a fuck, But you find a time, man. Like that's what I'm saying. It's just, I just hate excuses. I hate them. Just make.
Yeah, and I last year I stopped using like the term excuses. I started saying defending mediocrity. That's the term I use. Stop defending mediocrity, because that's really what excuses boil down to. You're defending your own mediocrity, meaning that you defend and gatekeep your opportunity for growth and development.
Come on, you gatekeeping your opportunities to grow. Come on.
That's it. So in short, you're just defending your own mediocrity, and that's nothing to fight for. Why are we sitting here fighting our
a life that we don't want, a version that we don't want?
Right.
Why aren't we putting in actions towards the new character?
Right.
The one that's
but
abundant.
But listen here, we talk about the new character all the time. A lot of times at functions, when we see people, we say, "Oh, I want to do this, that, and the third." I'm about to do
good. It sounds good in that moment.
Yeah. But then,
what's the action?
Where's the action? And then we bump into the term cognitive dissonance.
Talk to him.
That's when cognitive dissonance set in. And we live in a society that promotes and glamorizes cognitive dissonance. Like we say and see one thing, but the things that we see aren't what it looks like.
Yeah.
And the things what we say, we don't really do.
Or mean.
So this is outwardly good. Right. And what we do is we outwardly project cognitive dissonance in our own personal growth journeys. When we're supposed to be like, I here's where I want to be. The journey is here, and I'm starting right here, and I'm gonna stop at nothing to fill that gap in between.
A non-negotiable with yourself.
Non-negotiable. Kobe talks about that.
Exactly.
Non-negotiable.
That's why I got it from him.
I'm not about to negotiate with myself. If I said I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it.
Got to.
But we always negotiate.
You good.
With our growth. Why?
The comfort zone, being complacent, it's scary. It's scary because you used to being this certain character,
and we question our value.
It is about value.
We question our value.
We feel like we don't deserve it.
Right.
But why? What separates you from the person down the street? They wanted
Right.
it.
Right. Since we haven't been in this spot before, we haven't been in this position before, do we really deserve it? Like, why is that a question?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I've never seen this experience before, of course, I need to do the things that I've never done to get in this position.
Mm-hmm.
But you talk yourself out of it
Yeah.
when you question if you deserve it in the first place.
Yeah. But even the thought of wanting it, it shows you are deserving. Because most people don't even have that thought, like, wow, I really want to, be an entrepreneur. Really, wow, that house look pretty nice. But I can't get it. I don't have the money. No, we gonna figure out how we go get to the point. We'll figure out how we go get it. But we need to put ourselves in a position to make sure that we can
Right.
even do
That's
that.
that's the key. That's the key. The operative word is how.
Mm-hmm.
Not I don't have or I can't get. How can I be in a position to?
Mm-hmm.
What will get me in a position? I'm not questioning my value because, like you said, if if I didn't think about it, if it wasn't if I didn't see it, then that's one thing. But you
Mm-hmm.
actually thought about it,
Had the inspiration, the
you
thought.
had the inspiration for it, that means it's attainable.
Come on.
If it enters your brain at any capacity, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we get into metaphysics with the dimensions of thought, like the dimensions, and 1, 2, 3, fourth dimension, fifth dimension.
Mm-hmm.
But that first dimension is thought. That means it started the conception.
Mm-hmm.
The thought is the conception of materialization.
Yes, everything starts from the thought.
Everything starts with a thought. Everything. So the fact that you thought about it means that your value aligns with the materialization of this goal, dream, vision.
And we do not care how it's gonna get done.
It
You don't
doesn't
have to
matter.
forget because you, it doesn't matter about because like if you want let's keep this material shit. Let's stick with that one. I want this Lamborghini. But right now, my current job, I'm working paycheck to paycheck. You already talking yourself out. You telling the universe, God, source, whatever your reality is. I don't deserve this. No,
Right.
we go
That's
admit.
exactly what you're saying. You're saying, I don't deserve this. That's exactly what you're saying. And a lot of people, like what we said before, we working backwards.
Mm-hmm.
So we think that we are saying what we hear ourselves saying, but especially the English language, we're not going to get in that, but the English
Hey,
language is so
that
deceptive.
could be next episode too. 'Cause that's some spells, man. Some spells
Oh
in the
my
English language.
goodness. Oh my goodness. Like they knew what they were doing when English was created. Whoever came up with the language knew exactly what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. It's too well thought out.
Mm-hmm.
It's intelligently deceptive for it to just be an accident.
Yep.
It had to be intentional. To the fact now that when we speak, we don't realize what we're evoking
Mm-hmm.
every time we speak.
The spells.
We're evoking a reality for us to experience. We're evoking an experience every single time we speak.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I switched those words around, like excuses, defending mediocrity. Like
I like that.
it's
Yeah.
it's straight to the point of what we're actually doing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because defending mediocrity is painting the exact picture of what we're doing.
And it oh damn, because also like it's a softer way to take off the mask. I'm like, wow, I'm fooling myself, but
Right,
it's a positive constructive criticism way.
right. And so when we use certain words in the same breath that we're talking about cognitive dissonance, a lot of the words that we use assist our habit of utilizing cognitive dissonance to defend whatever our reality is in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be more intentional about what we say. And so it boils down to when we get up in the morning and we say, I have to go to work or I have to do this. No, it's I get to do
Yeah.
this.
What an
I
opportunity
get
this is.
right. We have an opportunity to leverage this experience
Mm-hmm.
to
Another
build
day that wasn't even promised.
right. So now I get to wake up today and make this day better than yesterday.
How can we compound from yesterday? How can we get better from yesterday?
How can we get better from yesterday? How can we make 2024 a better year today?
Come on.
Right?
How can we set it up so when the January 1st does hit, we already got the momentum. Now
Right.
we taking off.
Right. Because there is no future, there's no past, there's a right now moment.
It's just right now.
There is no such thing as in 6 months from now.
Mm-hmm.
6 months from now happens right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday came from a right now moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday is a result, is a product of the present moment.
Yep.
So this present moment will set you up for whatever your vision looks like, or whatever the trajectory of your life that you want to be on. It starts in the right now moment.
Get out your way.
Get out of your way. Being a steward of your time, your moment right now, leveraging what you know, the information that you have right now.
You got time to listen to this podcast. You got time, do what you gotta do.
You see what I'm saying?
You got
Like,
time to watch your ratchet TV shows at night, gossip. You got time.
and I'm not saying those things are right or wrong, right?
Right.
Because we have our points where we would like to be entertained.
Exactly.
But how are we going to balance that out?
Mm-hmm.
I got a book coming explaining all of that.
Come on.
All of that. Balance is key. So how are we going to balance out the things that we consume versus what we're producing in this world? Because it's not only about me. It's what service are we providing to the world we're
That's the
living in?
main thing, man. Because I remember you was chatting like you get it's just great feeling you get when you posting content. Like you're not like we're not getting paid to do this shit. We're doing it because we want to help people.
Right.
But it's just that I'm assisting the collective of making it a better place. That's the reward.
Right.
That's the financial currency.
Right. That's when we talked about earlier, value.
Mm-hmm.
Where is your value?
Mm-hmm.
How do you identify your personal value? And I didn't say, do you have value? Everybody has value.
Yeah.
And that's what we do with ourselves. Like, I can't do this. You're saying that I don't have value here. You do have value here.
You do.
You just ask, where is it? Everybody has value.
Or even like changing the word of I don't have time. No, I have time. And the shift, and then when you that subtle shift, and you thinking like, okay, wow, so get off at 5:30. It takes me about an hour to get home. I normally do this, but actually let me switch. Let me change up the routine. Let me do this. Because now you switching your mindset to I actually do have time, but I need to rearrange some puzzle pieces.
Right. And a lot of people like me, like that I understand what you said, but somebody who thinks like me, that wouldn't do it for me. What did it for me is I figured out how many seconds there are in one day.
God damn.
It's like 65,000 seconds in one day. So
wild.
So when I looked at that large number, I'm like, what am I doing with my time? Because and that's what opened it up. What am I doing with my time? because 24 hours a day, it doesn't seem like a lot. And it's easy to get into a scarcity mindset when you have a number that small.
Yeah.
But when you break that down to 65,000 moments, you have 65,000 moments in a day. Okay, you work. All right. There were some moments in the time, and you can do that math. If you work 8, 9, 10, 12 hours a day, every single moment that you had at work was not a moment that you were doing.
Hell no. You was scrolling, you was messaging. You ain't working a full 8. I know I wasn't working a full 8.
You're not working no full 8, 10, 11, 12. You're not. You're not. Just because you're on the clock don't mean that you're fulfilling your job description. It's just not, it's not realistic, especially in the United States.
Yeah.
especially, you know, we do everything the American way, right? And it's, be that as it may. But whenever, even sleeping, right? When we turn in to go to bed, whatever time that may be, there is a wind down period that people normally have. From the time they go to bed, from the time their head hits the pillow, and from the time they actually fall asleep. Those are moments that can be leveraged. What I do, I normally read a book. Like on my way to sleep, I just read a couple pages, because that's what I like to do. I like to when I fall asleep, I know that there's fresh knowledge that I just got, and I get to
programming your subconscious.
And I know, and sometimes I don't even remember what I read. Sometimes
I feel you on that one.
Right, but you know, when we talking about dreaming and getting into the astral part of things, it's there. It didn't. The knowledge didn't go away.
No.
Even if you didn't remember it, the knowledge will go away. And some people even argue that if you go to sleep with a book in your direct vicinity, you still get the vibrations, the frequency of the knowledge.
I can see that, because everything's energy. So that's not too far fetched.
Yeah. I think it was Dr. B Serious that talked about that.
Oh, you can put me on. You can put me on.
Yeah. And he talked about, you know, the frequency of the books that you have. He said you don't even have to read them. He said go to sleep with it under your pillow or right next to you. He said you get the frequency. Like sometimes you don't even have, if you're directly aligned with the knowledge, you get, it's almost like you read it anyway.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to directly consume the words in the book, but the frequency is there.
Yeah.
So you aligned your actions align with the frequency of the book was trying to teach in the first place. So that's what I do. And sometimes I do only just, you know, I'm so tired that I don't really want to read. I just put a book right there next to me.
That's smart though.
Yeah.
Somebody's like, but I don't have time to read. You can, if you commuting, you can, if you're taking a train, if you're taking a bus, it's that pocket of time. Because most likely you're on your phone scrolling. You can swap that phone with a book. You can swap it with brainstorming. You can swap it with content. You can swap it with game planning, how you finna execute. But all this is fine and dandy, but you still, the main principle, the main key is execution. If you ain't executing all that, because people, oh yeah, but like, all right, promise my brother be like, because once you, like, people start seeing results, they want to be like, oh, I want to be like you when you get in the gym. I want to get in the gym. Until I see your ass in the gym with me, I ain't trying to hear it, because you just talking. Where's the execution? When you showing up?
I mean, show up. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna get back into the gym. That's one thing I have to work on. But when I was in the gym heavy, when people were saying that, they said, you know, I need to get like you. I'll be like 4 o'clock in the morning. Where you at?
I'll be here. Show up.
I'll be here, and I'll make sure that you match, or you become stronger than me, because I know we all have, based off our, you know, our body makeup, DNA structure, and stuff like that. We do have a perceived capacity to, what we're supposed to be out here lifting and stuff like that before we be subject to injury.
Yeah.
But I'll get you to your highest potential. I'll help you get there.
But you got to show up.
But you got to show up
Consistently.
You
Always
gotta show up.
always do this hack. If you starting off, just do it until you see that 1 ounce of result. And once you do, then you hooked, you addicted because you want to see more. I always preach that. Because people think, oh, I've been in the gym for a week. I don't see nothing. Yeah, you ain't gonna see nothing. It's only been there for a week. Give it 2 months. Once you see that one whatever body part, you see change. You like, damn, this cool. I wanna see that motherfucker get bigger.
Right. And I'll give you a gem that a friend of mine gave me. She said that she started going to the gym out of curiosity. Like what can her body, how will her body look if she stayed consistent?
Come on.
She just did it out of curiosity. Like what would my body look like if I stayed consistent for X amount of time?
Yeah.
And then that turned into, because she kept a log.
Yeah.
And to this day, she keeps a log of her structure.
I love that. Yeah.
And that progress. And then eventually you get addicted to it.
You turn to you your own personal superhero at that point.
Right. You get addicted to it. She was like, I kind of got hooked after a while.
Yeah,
and
you
she
do.
said it wasn't the results that hooked her. It was the feeling. Going back to what you said, it was a feeling. I just feel better.
It's that energy, it's that confidence. And it's the journey too. You're excited about that brick by brick.
Right. Now I can, I went from lifting 45 pounds, now I'm lifting 85 pounds. I don't want to lose this. So I'm going back to the gym tomorrow. That was me. I don't want to lose this. So I'm going back tomorrow. I might even go back tonight. Sometimes I got so OCD about it. Sometimes I worked out twice a day just to make sure I didn't lose that strength that I had.
No, I'll do twice, like 3 times. Cause I'll do like legs for the evening, but like upper body, like legs and cardio in the evening, upper body for the thing. But like you said, it's that addiction, and you feel good.
Right. And I'm going back to, action, putting the action. You can, going to the gym. You can even listen to wherever you listen to this podcast at. You can be at the gym. You can get that. If you have a book on your heart to write, talk to text. No.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Don't defend your mediocrity. Don't defend your mediocrity while you in between sets. You have an idea about the book, or you have a half a chapter that you want to lay real quick.
Yeah.
Talk to text or a voice note, because you can type it out later.
There is, I was about to use the word excuse. There is no defending your mediocrity. You find opportunities.
You find opportunities.
And you push it in
pockets of time, moments, little pockets of moments.
And then where? Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, just little pockets of moments where you capitalize on materializing that vision.
Because like for example, let's say you writing a book and you do an audio version. You do it that one time, and then you have the same idea, like, oh, I actually enjoy doing this, and you do it again, and you do it again, and that becomes a habit, and then habit becomes discipline, and then you hooked. New life loading. Let go.
Right. But it's all from a right now moment. What are you doing right now to set yourself up? What things do you have right now to set yourself up? Say you don't have, money tight right now. You can't get a membership. Get you
a push-ups or something.
Right. Get you, like, if you can't do one push-up, I know you have bed sheets. You have a pillow. Put that mug under your knees.
No, I even challenge that push up though. Yes, you can. If you can only if you can only do one or two, okay, I can only do two today. But tomorrow I'm gonna push myself to three. Like when I first started doing dips, I'm like, fuck, I can only do two. I'm gonna challenge myself tomorrow to do four. But mentally, and even like visual, you can even visualize yourself doing it. Then you're convincing yourself you can. And then once you do it, like, damn, okay, I can do this.
When
Don't
it
psych
comes to
yourself out.
that, I'm crazy about it. Like I have to like there's no not doing. Here's my mind. I'm not about to sit here and do one.
No, you can't, man.
So I'm going to sit right here until I do 5.
We go figure it out.
I'm gonna figure out what I have to do to get 5. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna do this 1 or I'm gonna do this 2. I'm gonna go downstairs and give me something to eat. I'm gonna get a drink of water. I'm gonna come back.
Bust that bitch out.
Yeah, I'm bust out 3 more. Cause I'm not about to sit here and we have to reverse engineer that. And when it comes to our growth, right? Setting a standard for what you won't accept.
Mediocrity.
Right.
Non-negotiables.
Right. What are your non-negotiables? Because right now, our non-negotiables is the place that we are right now. Because that's why we're questioning our value. That's why we're questioning, or we're using speech that indicates that we don't deserve better. We lack vision. But that is our standard. So reverse engineering that, how will we set a higher standard so that things do get done? Going back to the reference, I'm doing 5 today. If I can only do 1 push-up, I'm doing 5 today. I'm doing whatever is required to hit 5 today. If you high volume, 200 push-ups. I remember when I was in the military, I set the record for push-ups.
Let's go.
In my squad. I set the record. The record was I think record was like 70 push-ups in a minute and a half or something like that.
Jesus.
I did 115 push-ups in a minute and a half.
Were you doing half, like the halfway up, or you doing like full, like extended?
Full push, like I had because when they test you, you can't do half.
Okay.
When they test you. So I said, what am I going to do to be able to complete the most amount of push-ups that I can in a minute and a half? So what I did was, my method was to max out push-ups every single day up until test day. So doing the most amount of push-ups that day until I can't do anymore. Sometimes I was 5 or 6, 7, 800 push-ups a day.
Jesus.
But that was full up and full down.
Yeah.
And I made sure when I went to bed every night that I physically could not do 1 push-up, 1 more push-up.
Yeah.
So that's why that number was so high. So I was like, I'm not going to bed until I physically can't do another push-up. Like my arms don't work no more. And
dang shot.
So came test day, I was able to crank out those many push-ups full motion. And for the people who didn't see my journey, they thought I was an alien.
Yeah, but you ain't see
But they didn't see the work
in.
that I put in. They didn't see the standard that I set for myself. They didn't see it. So they didn't know to set it for themselves.
That's a bar right there.
Right. So if they're not aware of the standard, then of course they're going to question it. A lot of people question me like, oh, what are you putting into your body? Like, are you using supplements? I'm like, no, because I'm trying to save some money. All I got is my whey protein, and I eat 2, 3, 4 times a day.
Yeah.
And I do that to make sure I have enough energy. But what I really do is
Putting that work.
When I get down and do this set of push-ups, I'm going until I physically cannot go anymore.
Yep. That's that going to a failure.
Right. And so like a lot of times I found a hack for that for my gym bros out there that a lot of us know that legs kind of sets the stage for producing testosterone in the body. So when you do legs, that helps you build muscle.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people constrict doing legs once a week or something like that.
You ain't gonna see no results doing that.
If you spread leg days, when I was at my biggest, like when I was at my strongest, like I was doing legs every other day. And so what that does is that creates a pump that your body is normally able to produce on its own.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was doing legs, in between sets, I did push-ups.
Yeah.
So I did. So when I was squatting, 200-300 pounds, I did the most amount to push-ups to failure, basically.
And then you had more energy to do on the push-ups too.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm cranking them out. But my legs is shot because we know leg day is different.
Boy, that shit is different. I had mine today.
Leg day is different. But you got that that pump throughout the body, and it helps. It helps you gain strength, and it creates momentum for the other muscle groups and stuff like that. A good guy to watch on that is Mike Rashid.
Oh, I love
He's
Mike Rashid.
big on legs, and they back about 10 years ago they called it overtraining because they had
fuck overtraining. I hate fuck that shit. Fuck
but
that shit.
they made it into a term based off what people was trolling. Like it was a lot of trolls on YouTube saying you're overtraining this muscle group.
You
So
ain't training
they
enough.
coined the term overtraining, and they did workouts based off of overtraining just to get back at the trolls that was
And then
saying
look
it.
at him. Got the results.
Yeah, that was back when Mike Rashid was in the gym with CT
I
Fletcher when
love
they was
CT
doing
Fletcher. I listen to
yeah,
him every gym session.
yeah.
Every
Got
gym
to
session. CT, that motherfucker funny. He's like, for a year and a half straight, I trained arms every day on Christmas, birthday, honey. I'm like, yeah. That's why I got my shit from. But no, fuck that overtraining shit. No, you need to pump as much blood in that bitch as possible.
That's the name of the game. That's the name of the game. But when you have that certain mindset, there's a certain standard that goes with it. There's certain things that you're not going to accept.
Non-negotiables.
There's non-negotiables. So for 2024, we're gonna do something backwards. And I want everybody under the sound of my voice to do this. Skip goals for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Skip the vision.
Mm-hmm.
Skip the life that you want that's in front of you. Mm-hmm. Start with the non-negotiables. Start with the things that you will not accept.
Mm-hmm.
Because in order for us to stand up, there needs to be a floor, right?
Yeah.
There needs to be a floor. So in order for us to stand up in 2024, start with the non-negotiables. That's our floor. And so that's going to set us up to stand up for the vision that's ahead of us.
God damn.
Start with the non-negotiables.
What are
I will not use negative language towards me or other people because my body don't know the difference. 75 trillion cells in my body don't know who I'm talking to.
Preach.
When I'm talking negative.
Yeah.
So my cells are going to be like, who, me? All right, bet. I'm going to see to it that you don't do it. All right, bet. But if you say, how am I going to get this?
Yup.
them cells are going to be like, all right, let's figure this out.
Because they got no choice.
You ready to
You set
work?
the
I'm
command.
ready to work. But you have to command that.
Let's go, baby.
You have to command that. Your body waiting on you to make a decision.
Your wish is your command. Shout out to Kevin Trudeo, if anybody know who he is. Great book, great guy.
So your body is waiting on you to find out where the non-negotiables, because where you're able to negotiate, your body's going to help you. Your mind is going to help you. Your subconscious is going to help you do whatever you're setting your mind to. So if your mind is already set to negotiate your value, your mind is going to be right there next to you negotiating. Your body's going to be right there next to you negotiating. And then it's not going to be selling for the highest bidder. It's going to be selling to the lowest bidder, because it's the standards is going to be lower.
And they'll try. This is bringing back so much shit. Oh, you doing too much? No, you ain't doing enough.
Right.
That's what it is.
Your standards too low. Your negotiables are too high.
Exactly.
Your non-negotiables too low.
We're in two different.
Start with the non-negotiables. I'm not bringing nobody that's on this frequency. I'm not talking to them. I'm not giving them time to be in my field. Because, once you let certain frequencies in your field, then that starts to mess with what you're trying to do.
Getting hijacked. It interferes. Unwanted energies.
Yeah. You start to interfere. So what, as far as like money, what are my non-negotiables? Going back to being a good steward. I am not going to blow this bread on things that I know that I'm not supposed to have.
And I'm wondering, like, oh, well, I'm struggling right now because you spent that unnecessary money. Right. You don't have discipline.
Right. I know it's not going to feel good all the time.
Yeah.
It's not going to feel good all the time. Victory feels good once you're done.
Rest when you're done out in the middle, man.
Right. But like in the process, I ran track. I'm a college athlete, ran track in college. Those, when I won my race, I didn't feel good.
Yeah.
But then when I see my time and I see that that number one next to my last name, that's when the satisfaction hit.
It's that self-validation.
Legs was on fire. Legs was burning.
But you did that shit.
You feel me? I did it. Like, we can't expect to feel good in the process. The satisfaction comes with accomplishment.
Facts.
Your impact, your service.
That's your championship.
That's the championship, is your service. How did this accomplishment serve you and others?
Who did you inspire during it? Like, there's just missing many steps with this shit.
Yeah, that's what Nipsey Hussle said. Nipsey Hussle said the highest point of existence is inspiring other people.
That's why we do it. It ain't for me.
It's not for me. It's not about me. Yeah. It's about the things that I'm putting out here that's going to outlast me when I transition out of here.
I gave a blueprint. I inspired people who inspired another person. It's a trickle effect. And the world is a better place.
We got to get out of this hyper individualism.
Yeah. Me.
Yeah, we got to get out of that. Because a lot of times that's what cripples us too.
Yeah.
It's the hyper individualism, because we feel like we can't do it because nobody's going to notice. Nobody supports me.
Or it's taken away from me, helping you, taken away from me succeeding. No, there's plenty of opportunity. Right.
But know that everything is here to assist you. Everything is here to assist you. The people's gonna come.
Yeah.
The likes, the views is gonna come. What is meant for you is going to come to you.
Always.
As long as you stay the course. But you can't stay the course unless those non-negotiables are clear. What are your non-negotiables? And how are you stewarding over the time that you've created? Because you do have time. There's 65,000 moments in a day. You do have time. How are you stewarding over that? And how clear your vision is based off of the standard that you set for yourself.
Bars. Big dog. As always, this is another great episode.
Pleasure, man. This was great.
Hey, everyone keep getting better. And then when you drop the book, well, I mean, we'll hop on before, but when you drop the book, I can't wait to talk about it.
Oh man, it's here soon.